Hey everybody, this is Darth Boy, and YouTube Rewind 2018 was a clusterfuck. Now normally I don't really make videos discussing YouTube related problems or issues, but I just gotta give my 2 cents on this because it's my YouTube channel. I'll do what I want, and right now I just feel like making a rant. Rant's not the right word. A thought piece, hot take, whatever the hell you want to call it. And these glasses I'm wearing are getting foggy, which is always a good thing. Not really, it's a pain in the ass. But the show must go on, despite this shit. So about YouTube Rewind. And it took me a while to think about why YouTube Rewind 2018 was getting all this backlash. Here's the most basic assessment I could come up with for why YouTube Rewind 2018 is getting the backlash that it does. For one, you have the most mainstream, safe YouTube channels. 2, you have a lot of celebrities there, or you have celebrities who just so happen to have YouTube channels and post YouTube content. This, I think, creates a sense of elitism, unjust, undeserved elitism within the YouTube atmosphere as a whole. When you think of YouTube, you can think of a variety of videos. When you think of the most basic type of YouTube video, you think of the guy with a webcam, ranting all day, saying some shit, and uploading it. That's an old school style of YouTube video that some people just master it, and there is a certain type of mastery to it all. But since YouTube is a part of Google, people see this as a fuck you from YouTube, in a sense. An obvious fuck you. They're going on with the safe YouTube content creators, or the content creators, as is the case with Will Smith, who is a fucking celebrity, for God's sake. He's a celebrity. He's one of the most well-known superstars out there. And you're going to put him on as the face of YouTube right now? Really? Well, when you think of big YouTubers, obviously you think of PewDiePie, but PewDiePie is going through all sorts of controversy that I really don't have the time or patience to go into. So he's obviously gone, but he is the most subscribed YouTuber, and YouTube is now willing to play it safe. So from a corporate PR standpoint, they're like, let's have our let's get the Will Smiths or the Marcus. God, I can't pronounce this guy's name. I'm terrible with name pronunciation, and I apologize for that. This guy, he's a great tech YouTuber, and I couldn't even really get through the whole thing. I've now since watched all of YouTube Rewind, so I need to add some points in for this video. Sorry for interrupting myself, but this is my channel. I just shove things in really quick and interrupt myself when I'm making a point, but you know, that just happens sometimes. Anyway, so I think there's a couple of reasons. I think with a lot of the issues they went into, it was a lot of safe issues that caused a lot of social division. That tends to annoy a lot of people. So there's that. If you know my channel, you know my feelings on issues like this. So with that in mind, it's like a safe commercial way of viewing deep, complicated issues. And when you do that, especially on a platform that's supposedly known for its authenticity, that just creates a lot of unnecessary shit. So yeah, just thought I'd mention that, and back to the rest of the video. I watched a few minutes of it, and there was just something that made me feel uneasy. You know, Lindsay Ellis. If you watch Nostalgia Critic, you know her as a nostalgia chick. I really hate calling her that, but I'm just trying to give some familiarity to those who may not know who she is. Gave a really great analysis video essay on authenticity with YouTube and brand recognition within being a content creator and how that works. And the YouTube Rewind is the perfect summation of that type of philosophy. It's the type of, we're just going to play it safe and not offend anyone with high enough production costs, and we're just going to play it safe. And when you play it safe and try to please everyone, you really end up pleasing no one at the end of the day. And that's what this like to dislike ratio, as I'm about to show you, presents here. It's now the second most disliked YouTube video in the history of the website. And I think that's saying something. The YouTube user base is sick of being censored, in a sense. It lacks authenticity, and it feels like it was made by a committee in a corporate office. It doesn't have that type of oomph when you think of a YouTuber or a YouTube video. You know, great YouTubers that I think of. James Rolfe is one of the great YouTubers of all time. Lindsay Ellis, another great YouTuber, but very different. Kind of in the same field as James Rolfe, but more of a academia type of approach. Whereas James Rolfe does analysis, but it's I really hate to say James Rolfe's style of analysis is simplistic. But when I compare him to Lindsay Ellis, it is an unfair comparison, and they do very different content. But Rolfe's style of analysis is simplistic and to the point, whereas Lindsay Ellis's style of analysis is a academia kind of professor vibe I get out of her. I think James Rolfe as well, I would also see him as a film professor in his own right, but sorry about that little tangent there. But when I think of YouTubers, I think of the guy with the webcam. I think of the Rainbow Rap for Life or the OCP Communications, you know, that type of style of oomphness to it, that authenticity, that rawness. Or when I think of a more somewhat safer YouTuber, I think of Jeremy Johns, for instance. Or I think of Angry Joe as a YouTuber. Or in terms of news-related YouTubers, I think of, like, they had John Oliver. I like John Oliver, don't get me wrong, but John Oliver is not YouTube. He's not a YouTuber. He is a television personality. You know, I mean, when I think of TV news, I think of David Pakman, Jen Kuger, or Kyle Kalinske. You know, those are very much analytical style YouTubers, or news commentators, I should say. YouTube gives a lot of room for creativity. It really does. And what this YouTube Rewind represented was a total disconnect. This real cultural disconnect between the YouTube audience and the company itself. And honestly, YouTube really hasn't cared about the user base in a long time. I've been on this platform for 8 years, and I can tell you, from the perspective of someone who's kind of grown up with YouTube and making YouTube content, I remember the YouTube layout was a lot more customizable. Granted, if you compare that, if you put that type of layout 8 years ago in perspective of today's layout, it would be really out of date. But that doesn't mean it couldn't be modernized in a way that makes you feel like you are creating your content, like you are broadcasting yourself from your own home, that your home and your computer is your television studio, in a sense. And the biggest issue with YouTube as a whole, or the YouTube organization as a whole, is that you have to understand where the position of the company is and understand where the position of the user base is. And that these two things don't really intermix. And that's a problem. And that's just personified in this video. And it's a shame. It's really a shame that it has gotten this bad. But the landscape of YouTube is changing. Maybe the type of content that hooked me in as a viewer, isn't really there anymore. And perhaps that's just something I have to accept. But I really don't fucking want to. I really don't. Hopefully, with the backlash that this has shown, it'll be a wake-up call for YouTube. With that in mind, live long and prosper and have a nice day.